Okay, hi guys. So in this lecture we'll be talking about the reaction of alkene with hydrogen. So let me first put down the heading. So reaction of alkene with hydrogen. Okay. So let's suppose we have alkene such like this, and we are uh, putting H2 as the reagent with the presence of NiPT PD. Okay, so what will happen is two hydrogen atoms will directly attach only in the same plane, either in below the plane or in above the plane. Okay, so mechanism goes as follows. So we have an alkene, and this is a means both hydrogen attaches to the at the same time or synchronously. So synchronously addition of hydrogen atoms, both they will attack the double bond either from below the plane or from above the plane. Okay, so it is as simple as so the hydrogen atoms collect over the surface of let's say platinum. So from here the hydrogen atom goes on to connect synchronously with the CH2 group, CH2 double bond CH2, so as to give rise to CH3. Okay, so simple mechanism, no any hi-fi stuff involved here. Okay, so let's go into the second example. So we have something like this. So in this case hydrogen over platinum surface will have something like two hydrogens will be attached in the same plane. Okay, third example would be here and here. So again we react for hydrogen in presence of PT over the surface of PT, so we'll get two hydrogen in the this either in the attacking above the plane, or it can be also below the plane. Okay, so if you have something like we are reacting cis 2 butene with H2 and over the surface of PT, or let's say here we have deuterium. So what will happen is, this is the structure, now this is reacting with D2. So what will happen is we'll have something like this, D and D. Okay, so you can make a sawhorse projection out of this, or a Newman, or any type of or a Fisher. So any type of way in which you want to represent this compound you can actually do. Okay, so fourth point is trans 2 butene. So one more thing means you can actually see this is a meso compound. Why? Because there is a presence of chiral center and there is a plane of symmetry. Okay, so trans 2 butene when reacting with again same D2P over the surface of PT, then you will have something like uh, again you'll have something like this, where these two are getting connected over let's say below the plane. Now we can have something like D and D here. Okay, So we'll get something like this, in which actually it will attack in this case below the plane. Hence we can show this compound. I think this compound is not that much clear to you guys. We can actually show it something like this, wherein uh, suppose this was our transbutene. So now both will attach below the plane. So I make them below the plane like this, and in one case CS3 would be on the left hand side, and another case CS3 would be on the right hand side. Okay, so if we make the fissure out of them, it is in YY form. So what would be the fissure out of it? So as you know, in fissure projection, CS3 should be at the uh, the lower attached carbon. So we rotate this bond, so we get HD here, and similarly we rotate this bond, so we will get D and H here. This is the first carbon atom, this is the first carbon atom. Okay, so it can have an enantiomer or a mirror image. So we'll have a recipe mixture like this, in which both the two compounds will be existing. Okay, so this will produce enantiomers. Okay, let's look at some more examples. We have ETD, and similarly we have ETD here. So it is reacted with H2 over a surface of nickel. So what would happen is, again we would get something like this, where ETD H would be here, similarly ETD and H would be here. So if you draw the fissure of it, you will get something like this, wherein ET is here, D and H are here, similarly D and H are here, ET is here. So this compound is a meso compound. There are two cardinal centers and a plane of symmetry. Let us talk about this compound, where we have ET here, ET here, ET here, and D here. Okay, so on a surface of H2Ni, we would have something like this, where we have ETDH here, similarly DET and H over here. So what would be the, when you rotate this anti-clockwise and this clockwise, D would come to the left, and in this case D would come to the right, and it would also have a mirror image, and you can draw the enantiomer here. And how is this compound coming into the picture? Because let's suppose both H attaches themselves above the carbon plane. So in this case you have to rotate this clockwise, and you have to rotate this anti-clockwise. So in this case what will happen is, if you rotate this anti-clockwise, so you would get something like H here, D here, and if you rotate this clockwise, you would have D here, H here, and ET on the vertical bonds. So this is actually same as this compound. So from here, if the hydrogen attaches above the plane, you get the second one. Okay, and if it attaches below the plane, you will get this one. Okay, let us talk about another example. Here we have D2Ni. So what would happen is, they can either attach themselves below the plane or above the plane. Okay, so if you see at this compound, if you see at this carbon atom, only this carbon atom would be chiral. This will not be chiral because it already has two hydrogen atoms on it. So it would be something like if H and CH2D are here, D can attach below the plane and above the plane, so we will have a racemic mixture again in which we would have something like this, where D, H, CH3 and H, H and D. Okay, and in second case we would have something like H, 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 D and CH3. Okay, let us look at eighth example. We have 2 butanone and we are reacting it with let's react it with H2 only in this case, H2 and Ni. So what would happen is, so 2 butanone would be something like 1 2 3 4 and 2 butane is something like this. So on this double bond, and the pi bond between carbon and oxygen atom would be attacked by H. So we would again have a racemic mixture in which we will have again racemic mixture because of this chiral center. Okay, so let's look at ninth example, wherein we have CH3 here and CH2 here, H2Ni. Okay, so here what we will be having diastereomers, because this carbon atom is already fixed that it will remain in above the plane position only. So we will have CH3 here with this as one compound and this one. So this is a racemic mixture. Okay, let's look at the 10th example, wherein we will have CH3 here and CH2 here. So again this is not a racemic mixture. I'm very sorry for it. It's a diastereomer. Okay, and for this, if we react H2 over nickel, then it will have something like, obviously now this would also be diastereomers. We have CH3 here, we will get CH3 here, this is also a diastereomer. Okay, we have something like this. Then what would happen? H2Ni is here, so again we would have a diastereomer. And second one compound would be again this is a diastereomer. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this lecture, and in the next lecture we'll be seeing some more of such examples, and till then good luck and goodbye.